r/ProRevenge.
Burning vengeance, kind of long, but I promise it's worth it. Repost. Most cordial greetings to everyone. I've been enjoying the r/entitled https :/www.reddit.com/r/entitled/ r/revenge https :/www.reddit.com/r/revenge/ and r/malicious compliance https :/www.reddit.com/r/malicious compliance/ Vids Dark Fluff makes on YouTube, and I think I might have a vid-worthy submission. Even if it's not, I think a lot of people will get a real kick out of this one. I originally posted this in r/dark fluff, but I figure if anyone has permission to repost it, the me, does, so here goes. First, some context. There's this product called Pure Cap, which is basically 100% capsaicin oil, the stuff that makes hot peppers hot. It has a Scoville rating of 500,000 units per drop but no flavor, making it ideal for spicing up food without affecting the way it tastes. Putting enough of it, usually only a few drops, on any food can make it almost completely inedible to anyone who is not a total firemouth, i.e. Pepperhead. It's available on Amazon for about $30 per 2 ounces, but a little goes a very long way. That's why it's sold in an eyedropper bottle. Now here's the good part. In the early 2000s, my brother, Rick, was working in a call center that had a break room with a fridge/freezer, a microwave, and a small sink. He didn't take his own lunch often, usually leftovers from the previous night's dinner, maybe 3 or 4 times a month, but every time he did it would get stolen. The first couple times he didn't mention it, just in case it was a simple mistake and the person was too embarrassed to own up. However, the third time he remembered the military axiom: once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, but thrice is enemy action, and reported the thefts to his supervisor, Don, and the head of human resources, Dolly, every time after. However, they said that without proof there was nothing they could do. No cameras in the break room. And so this is where my plan hatched. One night I made a roast beef dinner with potatoes and carrots, cooked all day in a crock pot with onion soup mix on top. Believe me, it was fork tender and delicious. I also made a nice salad to go with it, and put away a complete dinner serving for him to have for lunch on his next shift. The next night he came home and said his lunch had been stolen again, so the next morning I made a really deluxe roast beef sandwich, thickly sliced with lettuce, pickles, cheddar, and mayonnaise on an 8-inch hoagie roll, so whoever was stealing would think they'd hit the jackpot 2 days in a row. I also loaded the roast with Pure Cap, like 4 droppers worth, about 30 to 40 drops on the meat alone, and made sure it was all completely absorbed before closing the sandwich so the roast looked really juicy. I even mixed some into the mayo and put some more on the bread, because bread tends to downplay the fire a bit. Rick came in about halfway through the Pure Cap application and asked what the hell I was doing. I looked back with an evil grin and said, "Oh, just making a little present, wink, for the lunch thief." My grin was instantly copied on his face, because he was the one who had originally told me about the stuff after he'd used it to prank a former roommate, so he knew what was going to happen. Then he went to finish getting ready for work. I could hear him chuckling the whole time. I even gave him $5 on his way out because that one sandwich shop with the green and yellow logo was only a couple blocks from his job and still had their $5 footlong promotion going. When Rick got home that night, his grin was even bigger as he related the events. He was between calls only a couple hours into his shift when suddenly there's this god-awful howling from the break room. Everyone who wasn't on a call right then, including Dolly, rushed in there to see the sandwich on the table with one bite taken out of it, the half-chewed bite laying right next to it, and Don at the sink desperately trying to wash the capsaicin inferno out of his mouth, not knowing that water only makes it worse. Don was ostensibly friendly and reasonable, so he was well liked by his people. I guess he thought that would make some sort of difference, because he pointed directly at Rick and yelled, "He tried to kill me." Then went back to trying to put out his mouth fire with water. Dolly picked up the bag the sandwich had been in, which clearly had Rick's name in big red letters in his handwriting. She looked at Rick. Rick looked back with a completely straight face and shrugged. So Dolly grabbed the guy by the arm and dragged him to her office with him streaming tears and snot the whole way. By this time the water had sent the Pure Cap into real overdrive, and Don had to just stand there and burn while Dolly and the call center's manager, Bill, dressed him down for about 15 minutes, finally ending it with his termination for theft. The guy could hardly even speak from the burning, tears, and runny nose that sandwich caused, and besides that he had no defense anyway because he just outed himself for stealing an employee's lunch. The company had a zero-tolerance policy about that kind of thing, especially when higher-ups steal from the people they manage. Rick was back at his station and on a call when Bill personally came over smiling and said that Dolly wanted to see him when he was free. Rick gave a thumbs up knowing fully well why she wants to see him, took the call to its conclusion, and went to Human Resources. Here's how he described the encounter. Rick. You wanted to see me, Mum? Dolly. Yes, I do. First, being the aggrieved party, you're not in trouble. Second, what the hell did you put in that sandwich? Rick. Actually, my brother made it. He pulls the bottle of Pure Cap out of his pocket and sets it on Dolly's desk with a smile. Dolly picks up the bottle and reads the ingredients list, which literally just says capsaicin oil, 500,000 Scoville units per drop, bursts out laughing, and hands it back. Rick. There was kind of really a lot of that in the meat. And the mayo. And the bread. Dolly. Still giggling, you know what? Go ahead and take your lunch break now, and when you get back we'll talk about making you that section supervisor. So he did. Rick still says that was the most emotionally satisfying sub sandwich he's ever had. He declined the super position, though, so they promoted a different person from that section, a really nice lady, Carrie, who had also witnessed the sandwich debacle. The whole office laughed about it for weeks afterward, and every new hire for at least a year got to hear the story, as both entertainment and warning. I smiled about it for a month, and both Rick and I rarely miss a chance to tell people about Pure Cap and its potential applications regarding lunch thievery. I never did hear anything else about Don, but I imagine getting hired anywhere else, not to mention being promoted to a managerial position, was fairly difficult with that huge red flag for theft on his record. Anyway, that's my story. If it does get into one of Dark Fluff's vids, I'm hoping for r/ProRevenge https://www.reddit.com/r/ProRevenge/. But if anyone thinks it might fit better in a different category, please don't hesitate to suggest, as this is a copy of my first Reddit post ever. I hope you enjoyed it. Edit. Today I just asked Bro about the incident, and he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you. A couple days later Don actually did try to accuse Bro of attempted murder, but both Dolly and Bill went to bat for him. It turned out that Dolly herself had confiscated the sandwich and the errant half-chewed bite, wrapped them back up, sealed the package with duct tape, and put it in the back of the break room freezer with a note that said do not touch. So, when it was found that it had nothing spoiled or toxic as well as only Don's DNA, Don got hit with charges of false accusation and filing a false police report, double, and had to pay for the legal fees and the cost of the testing, so apparently the murder attempt charge got shut down hard. After that Bro wasn't interested anymore and asked to never be bothered about Don again, with which Dolly, Bill, and the company lawyers happily agreed. This last bit might make this revenge a little more pro, but since Don did it to himself again, I'm not sure about that.
A response to the post.
This reads like a planted viral ad for Pure Cap, TM.
A response to the post.
I wonder if Don got to enjoy the cap a second time a couple of hours later? It might depend on if he swallowed the bite he took.
Oh, peace response to the post.
Wow. I never thought my vengeance get this kind of response. 63.4K. Total views, 90+% upvote rate, and 27 shares in fewer than 24 hours? I mean, are you kidding me? I'm laughing even harder now. Thank you, everyone, for receiving my posts so well, and for all that karma.